So today we will be starting a small project on learning surface area. And we will be using something called NETS, N-E-T-S. So let me just bring up my screen here and I can show you a little bit about the first step to this project. All right, so you should have received a packet when you came into class today, and it has a series of shapes that have, figures that have composite figures on them. You see different kinds of the figures that we have studied. The first step to this is to cut out each of the nets, N-E-T-S, nets. So you're going to go from something like this, and then you're going to cut it out. So you're going to keep all of the composite figures together and cut out just the absolute outline of it. Then the first step that we're going to do is we're going to measure. We are going to figure out what the area of each of these smaller units are. So here we see I have 3 rectangles and I have 2 triangles. So just to get you started, you're going to do this with each of those 4 nets that you're cutting out. So what we need to do is we need to actually measure the length and the width, make all the measurements before we can calculate the area of these. So like for instance, this particular rectangle has 9 centimeters as one of its length, and the width looks to be about, if you want to be absolutely exact, you can. I'm going to go from, it looks like this is 5.8. So this is 5.8 centimeters. Then what I'm going to do with each, you're going to do that with each one of the smaller shapes here. And then you're going to, just somewhere along there, write what the area is. So in this case, I measured it to be 5.8. If you want to round to the nearest centimeter or half centimeter, that's fine. I like to be really precise. So I'm going to multiply 5 times 8 times by 9, so 5.8 times 9, and I get 52.2 square centimeters. I'm going to do that for each of these shapes. Now remember, when you do a triangle, we need the base and the height. So you need to actually draw in the height. And you can do the best you can. We draw a dotted line and write down from the base to the highest point of that triangle, and that becomes your height, and that becomes your base. So you will measure the base times the height, and then you divide that by 2. So you are going to do that for each of the nets. You're going to have 4 of them. Each shape, you're going to put the area of each of those individual figures. On the back, write your name of each one. Make sure your name goes on each one. And then you're going to clip all of them together and put them in our basket, and we will finish this project tomorrow.